Hey, this is Chris from retrosession.org. This is the Step into Bliss podcast, episode 2. As I said last time, this isn't going to be your typical podcast. I'm not here to give you opinions, interviews, any of that stuff. This is an opportunity to relax and journey. To get deep. To listen. Not to me, but to that still small voice inside. I have a question for you. Are you living the life you're called to live? Be honest with yourself. Not here to make you feel bad. This isn't about guilt. This is an opportunity. Is this the life you were meant to live? If not, what's holding you back? Just settle in where you're seated or lying down. Notice the breath for a couple of moments. Not controlling the breath. Not doing anything with it. Just noticing it. Each inhale. Each exhale. It's like you're riding an endless wave. From the moment of your birth, your first breath, to your last breath on this planet. Easy, effortless breath. If you get distracted, no big deal. Just notice the distraction that came in and gently and lovingly bring your attention back to that breath. You may notice it where the breath comes in at the nose or at the back of the throat. Or maybe you have your attention on the rise and fall of your chest. All these are great. Now for each exhale. As you let that breath go, relax your body a little bit more into the seat, into the bed, wherever you're resting. Every exhale, releasing, relaxing all the way from the very edge of your skin down to the marrow of your bones. Deep relaxation. Each breath sinking in a little bit deeper. As you get more and more relaxed with each breath, you might start to feel a kind of numbness. Or maybe it feels a little bit like static, light static electricity. If any tension creeps back in, or if you notice tension that you didn't get before, that is okay. Just let it go again. You're safe. You're cared for. You are loved. Breath after breath. There's so much noise in the mind. Throughout the day, things to do, tasks to complete. There's tension. There's worry, stress, anxiety. This is a moment to let at least some of that go. It's time to connect with yourself. Not connecting with that surface level self, that anxious, worried, busy self. We're getting beneath that. This deeper version of you doesn't need to use words. It isn't forceful. It doesn't tell you what to do. That's why it's easy to miss that voice. It's drowned out by the stress, the worry, the thoughts. But that still small voice is there. We're going to take it a little deeper here. Notice the sounds in the room around you. Maybe the sound of the heater or air conditioner. Other ambient noises in the room. Sounds of the house settling around you. Just notice. Maybe the sounds of birds filtering in from outside, or the sound of cars on the road. Your attention gently holds these sounds. Not focused, like you're solving a math problem, and not drifting off and daydreaming. You're just lightly holding these sounds with your attention. Maybe your mind flits from sound to sound like a bumblebee from flower to flower. Or maybe you find your attention floating in the midst of all that sound, not focusing on one particular sound. Either is okay. Just notice. Now, notice the rhythm of the sound around you. Some of those individual sounds are going to have their own rhythm. But I'm talking about the overall rhythm. You don't have to understand it. It doesn't have to be something you can count. But find yourself settling into that rhythm of the sounds around you. You might even start to find that your breath works into that rhythm. This tapestry of sound, rising and falling. Just noticing. Just like you relax the body to float on water, we're relaxing the mind, the emotions, floating on sound. You might even start to feel the body rising and falling on these waves of sound. Maybe the breath syncs up with it. Really feeling the body rising and falling like you're floating in a rowboat. Light wind on the pond as it bobs. And relaxing, releasing into that sound, rising and falling. Notice. Notice the sense that your body is held together. It may be challenging to find at first, that's okay. But this is a kind of internal gravity. The sense of the body being held in place. And as you're floating on this sound, notice that sense of internal gravity, the body held together, it starts to release and relax. You might start to feel like the body spreads out, opens up, like there's some more space introduced into it. It's like the body is liquid on a hard surface, spreading out, releasing. As the edges of the body release, as that gravity holding the body together loosens, notice how that feels, still floating on the sound. Might start to feel like the body is just one of those waves floating effortlessly, peacefully. Any distractions, disturbances that come in, no big deal. Just gently and lovingly relax into it all. You're not pushing the distractions away. You're not chasing them. Just allowing them to float in the sea of sound with you. And they'll dissipate, spreading out in that sea, diffused. It's not just tension in the body that we're talking about here. This is tension in the mind, tension in the emotions. Letting that go as you float here on the sound. Enjoy. Relax for a few moments. I'll leave you in silence. And then we'll come back to where we started. I'm going to ask you some questions. The answers are for you. No need to try to remember. You're going to remember. Know that the answer is usually the first thing that comes to mind, even if it's surprising or if it seems irrational. Allow it to be what it is. You still get to choose whether you listen to that answer. Just sit with it. Give it time. Time away from this relaxation. No judgment needed. We're getting out of the way. Allowing those deeper answers to manifest themselves. Who are you? There's no right or wrong answer. Who are you? Not who are you, what is your job? Who are you, what kind of family you have? None of that. Not who are you, let's think of an answer. Who are you? Answered in the silence. You can feel it more than hearing the answer. Who are you? Why are you here? What are you called to do? Not searching for the answer using the mind, just relaxing into this question. What are you here to do? Who's here with you? Who's around you, supporting you? Who's here teaching you? Those teachers can be positive teachers. They can also be negative teachers. Who's here with you? Where are you headed right now? Not where do you want to head, but where are you headed right now? Are you headed in the right direction? Again, this isn't a thinking process. If you can get beneath the mind, the answer's there for you. Are you living in alignment with what you're meant to be? Most of us are living out of alignment in at least some small way. Are you living in total alignment with who you're meant to be? Why not? Even if you don't know consciously exactly what you're meant to be, what's stopping you from living the life you're meant to live? What habits do you have that take away from that openness to the life you're meant to live? What thinking patterns stop you from living that life? Is there negative self-talk? Are you clinging to relationships that don't feed you? To negativity and gossip? Are you spending your free time trying to get away from the rest of the time? I don't have these answers for you. They're here. Beneath that surface self, the stressed self, the busy self, the overwhelmed self. Those answers are here, and they speak in the stillest, smallest voice. Let's continue to listen. Do you want to live a more fulfilling, aligned life? Or are you satisfied with the status quo? There's no right or wrong answer. Maybe right now what you need is to live that life you're already living. Maybe it's not time. That is okay. you want to live that life? Do you want it more than your habits? Do you want it more than the thinking patterns that are holding you back? Do you want it more than those relationships that are sucking the life out of you? Do you want it more than the unfulfilling career that pays enough money to get by? What's stopping you? It's going to be unique to you. What's stopping you? And when I ask what's stopping you, what excuses came up? So if a particular habit came up as what's stopping you, did your internal voice come in and say, but, I need that? Did another excuse come to the surface? What excuses are stopping you? What excuses are stopping you from seeing the truth of who you are, from being the truth of who you are? What's next? No one's going to step into that life they've always dreamed of in one step. What's next? What's that one step you can take? Simple, small, easy. Only you know. And are you willing to take it? Even if it's uncomfortable for a while. Even if it's hard to break those habits. Are you willing to take that step? If so, know that I believe in you. I really do. I know what we're capable of as human beings, and I truly want the best for you. I know you can do it. You can have that life you've always dreamed of. You don't have to be stuck forever. Maybe you start to feel energy coming into your body. The energy to make these changes, to take these steps. Still relaxed, but energy starts to surge. Motivation, life, hope, courage. Whatever you need to arise, I know it's arising now, giving you what you need.